Hello, and thanks for watching this short presentation called Search Basics, Getting Started with College Board Search. My name is Mark Barrett, and I, along with my colleague Carolyn Mills-Sorg, will be sharing some information with you today. Carolyn and I both work in the Recruitment and Enrollment Solutions team at the College Board. And for both of us, prior to our time at the College Board, we were enrollment managers, and now we work with institutions across the country focused exclusively on search efforts and helping institutions get the most out of College Board search. We're excited to be with you today to share some information. We're going to take a few minutes to introduce College Board Search, which is a tool that serves colleges and universities in their enrollment efforts, but also helps students in their efforts to find the right colleges. We'll then talk a little bit about how search works. In other words, how the database grows and what ways students get into the database. Then we're going to transition to talking about using the right sources to find students based on where you're searching. And then we're going to provide a demonstration of ordering in College Board Search with some critical points that you're going to want to be aware of. College Board Search is a suite of enrollment solutions that includes Student Search Service, Enrollment Planning Service, Segment Analysis Service, and Interest in My College. Each of these tools broadens access to key data and enhances your recruitment strategy. College Board Search is the largest database of college-bound students in the country, with approximately 2 million new students opting in annually. New students enter the database consistently, which we'll talk more about in just a few minutes. And finally, search plays a very critical role in student access to college. Participation in search increases a student's probability of college enrollment by 12%. The effects for low-income and underrepresented minority students is even greater. Let's review how search works. This is a pretty big shift from the way search worked not too long ago, so we want to be sure to help you flag any outdated ideas you may have about search and make room for new ways of thinking. A student can opt into search today more ways than ever before. They might opt in while researching colleges on Big Future and saving a college list, or they may opt in on collegeboard.org while creating a College Board account or registering for weekend SAT. That could also happen while they're checking their scores from a PSAT, SAT, or an AP test, or even when linking their Khan Academy account to their College Board account to begin their official SAT practice. As students did in the past, they may continue to opt in during the pre-administration session for an exam being given at school, such as PSAT, PSAT 10, SAT School Day, or AP. Regardless of how a student opts in, the student is added to the search database right away. From the top left, follow the flow chart down to the bottom left. In the case of online opt-in channels, students are added through a weekly process we call indexing. We add students to search now whether or not they have a prior assessment on file. When a student opts in for the first time during an exam, they'll be added to the search database during the data load for that exam. Moving along the bottom of the slide to the right, you can then license and connect with those students. When a student has already been added to search and they take an assessment, those scores will be appended to their existing search record on the data load for that assessment. But keep in mind that many students opting in online do actually have College Board assessments associated with their records. So for example, if you set your calendar by the PSAT data load in the past and ordered one time a year in January, you'd never find the PSAT test taker who opted in online after the data load. So there are a couple takeaways here. Every student used to have an assessment on their search record, and that's no longer the case. And because that's no longer the case, your focus on data loads as search events needs to change and be more of a consistent process. It's really more of a flow of data coming into the system than several large waves. This will give you the opportunity to talk to students sooner when they first opt in and they're paying the closest attention. Here's an example of a student path into search. Allie takes the PSAT in October of her junior year, and she opts in at the time of the assessment. Later that fall, she gets her scores back and finds she scored a 1030 on the PSAT, and she reports that she has an A average on her student record. The following spring, she registers for the SAT, and she gets her scores back and sees that she got a 1090. Meanwhile, Sample College launches their junior search in January. They search using a PSAT score range of 1050 to 1600. Then in October, they placed some additional orders copied from the fall of the previous year, and they use only an SAT score range of 1100 plus. Will Sample College find Allie? The answer is they will not. Sample College just missed Allie both times they searched. First, Sample College performed their junior search using a PSAT score, and Allie fell just below their searched range. This matters because a few points difference can make a big difference in the number of students your search returns. Sample College could have found Allie if they had done a search for all opt-in students with a strong GPA, because as we know, Allie reports that she has an A average. In the fall, Sample College missed Allie because they searched using only the SAT score. In the past, that could have been an okay strategy because most students would have had an SAT and a PSAT or multiple exams. But in some cases now, students only have one exam. So what should Sample College have done? They should have searched using both PSAT and SAT scores in the fall. And if they would have accounted for score growth, they may have used a score range of 1020, 1030 plus on the PSAT and stuck with their 1100 if they felt as though they needed to use that score. This would have given them access to more students and been a much more thorough search while accounting for score growth. What other ways could Sample College have found Allie? They could have searched more frequently, especially for students without an assessment score on file. If they had searched for students with an A or B average but not used test scores, then they would have found Allie sooner. So the takeaway here is that searching frequently and being thoughtful about what criteria you use really matters in your searches. If you have any doubts about what approach is best, let a member of our team assist you. We also want you to know where the concentration of students are within search so you can make the best use of your budget. Awareness of where College Board has coverage of the College Bound segment can help you avoid duplicates across name sources. College Board Search provides the largest database of College Bound students in the country. And we know that you're regularly contacted by a number of name providers suggesting they can fill your admissions funnel. But the reality is that no other source has as complete of coverage of the college-bound market as College Board. The data on this map is based on data from Nathan Graw's book called Demographics and the Demand for Higher Education. It shows that in more than half the U.S. states, the volume of students in the class of 2021 who are opted into search exceeds the number of students Graw projects as bound for a four-year college. For example, in Texas, Graw projects that roughly 165,000 students from the class of 2021 will enroll at a four-year higher education institution. In search today, College Board has more than 274,000 students available in Texas in the class of 2021. So if you're searching in any of the dark purple states on this map, College Board likely has the highest volume of students available and thus should be your primary source for names. If you're getting names from another source other than College Board prior to getting them from College Board, you're probably getting duplicates that you could have avoided. I'm now going to hand it off to Carolyn for a live look at using College Board Search.
Thanks, Mark. I'm going to walk you through a live demo now of our search site, beginning with how to sign in. I've navigated my web browser to cbsearch.collegeboard.org. From this page, you can sign into College Board Search. You can also access resources for optimizing your work in search, or you can request a free consultation with one of us or one of our colleagues. We'll help you think about search as a solution for your specific goals, and we'd love to connect with you one-on-one. For now, I'm going to click Sign In to College Board Search. Now, we recommend bookmarking this sign-in page so you can return to search very easily. If prompted, after you hit Sign In, you'll click the link to sign in with your institution's department name. When I sign in, I'm signing in to our Sample College account. If you're unable to log in, your College Board Educational Professional account login may not be set up, or it may not be associated with your institution's search account. If that's the case, contact our colleagues in customer support at collegeboardsearch@collegeboard.org. So just a quick tour of this platform. Across the top of the screen, you'll see a blue bar where we have the Search for Students tab. This is Student Search Service. This is where we will click. We also have the breadcrumb here at the top of the site for My Searches, Orders, and Files. This is a place where you'll save all of the lists that you build here in College Board Search. The rest of the tabs across the top of this blue bar are part of Enrollment Planning Service and Segment Analysis Service. If you're interested in licensing these tools from College Board Search, let us know. We'd love to talk to you about that. For now, we'll be focused on Student Search Service. So in the Search for Students tab, I'm going to click this orange button for Start New Search. We can now build an order for the students that meet the criteria you're looking for. I'll click Research and License Students who have opted into search. Now here we have the ability to recruit multiple cohorts. You'll notice that the class of 2020 is the most recently graduated cohort available today. They will cycle out of this tool on September 1st. And at that time, we'll add the new incoming class of 9th graders. In this case, it'll be 2025. Keep in mind that the default here is to include only new students not included in my other orders. This is our deduplication feature, and this allows Search to remove students from your orders who you have licensed previously. That means you'll never pay for the same name twice with College Board Search. In the College Board exams section, you have several options. The default here is to include all opt-in students. That includes some students who have tested and others who have not. We can toggle between the next two options to get a sense of the differences in those populations. Today, there are about 4.2 million students who have tested, and there are about 574,000 students who have not. The last option gives you the ability to put in score ranges. So for example, if you add an SAT score of 1,000 and up, keep in mind that this is only going to return students who have tested on this test and have scored within this range. It's going to leave out students who have opted into Search, want to hear from colleges, but have not tested yet. And if you do plan to search with score bands, be sure to search all test sources. You can hit add another and add another exam source. This is especially important to capture students who are likely to meet your criteria who may not yet have tested on the SAT. Now, keep in mind score scale differences here. If we're looking for 1,000 to 1,600 on the SAT, it's important to drop your PSAT range 60 to 80 points below your SAT range to account for score growth. So in this case, we'll be searching about a 940. And you can see how that really multiplies the number of students that this search finds. You have the ability to remove your score senders, so any students who have already sent SAT scores to your institution can be removed from your search. While the majority of students in the database do have a test score on file, keep in mind that this database is dynamic. New students and new data points are indexed to Search weekly. So if a student doesn't meet your score criteria today, they may meet your score criteria next week. So as Mark mentioned earlier, it's important to come back to the database regularly. Interest in My College is an add-on that will allow you to find students who have added your institution to their college list on College Board's Big Future College Planning site. These students, according to our research, are likely to convert at higher rates throughout the funnel. And in a pilot study, they were 10 times more likely to apply than traditional search names. And we'd love to talk to you directly about this option. So reach out to us at collegeboardsearch@collegeboard.org to learn more. Next, let's take a look at geography. Within the geography section, we have a lot of options to search domestically within the United States. You can search by whole states, by geomarkets within certain states, by county, by a 3 or 5 digit zip code with the ability to upload a file. Metropolitan statistical area will give you major metro areas of various states. Or the proximity search will allow you to put in an address and then draw a radius around it to pull in all students that fall within that radius, either by their home address or high school address. Let's go back into county and search for students in 3 counties within the greater Atlanta area. We'll look at DeKalb, Fulton, and Gwinnett counties. You can see based on students' home address that this search is finding 33,000 students right now that fall within the score bands we've selected. Now, one option to consider is to switch back to include all opt-in students, which I will do. That pulls in now almost 55,000. I'll go back down into high school academic performance, and let's put a GPA range here. Now, one thing I like to point out when we talk about GPA is that we do have a number of students who do not know or do not respond to this question. Out of the 54,672 students we're seeing right now, if I click only that box, it shows us that about 4,000 students in this search have not answered this question. I'm going to keep that check to pull these 4,000 students in, and I'm also going to put on an A+ to B range to find students that meet criteria that I'm looking for. So this is pulling in, to be clear, almost 46,000 students in 3 counties of interest for Sample College who have opted into search. Some will have tested, some have not tested yet, but all have reported a GPA in an A+ to B range or have not responded to that question. Now, there are some other filters of interest here. One is demographics. You'll see that you can sort by gender, ethnicity or race, or first-gen status. All of these are data points that are provided on the output file. So if you have any communication strategies that will require you to know this information about the students that you're searching, you can get that from your output file, and we don't have to filter for it here. Within the intended major section, we have a few different options. You can search by first choice or any choice, as students can provide more than one option in most cases when they opt into search. Searching by any choice is the more inclusive option. No response, if it were a major, would be the most popular. Now we can search for other majors here, either by selecting all major groups, selecting all, and then removing majors that Sample College does not offer. Or we could simply pick majors individually by first selecting their group and then the specific programs of interest. Within email and postal address preferences, the default is set to OR logic. This will return all students who meet your criteria and avoid filtering a student out because one contact method could not be verified. Our advice to institutions is that it's better to recruit a good fit student in one channel than not at all. And maintaining the default setting here is a best practice. Also, it's important to note that College Board Search does not provide student phone numbers. In the College Plans and Preferences section, keep in mind that these questions often go unanswered by students. But if you need to include any of these filters, be sure to include no response so that you don't miss students who are otherwise likely to meet your criteria. So for example, we know that most students go to college close to home. So let's choose the close to home option under college location. Take note of our starting figure here. It's just under 46,000. When we choose close to home, you'll see that only 3,600 students have indicated that they plan to go to college close to home. When we add no response, we get almost up to our starting total. So no response here is incredibly important as you zero in on the population that you'd like to recruit. The same is true if you do any work in high school courses and activities, which includes some other filters here that I'm previewing as I open this section up. So once you've identified your target population, you'll save this list, give it a name, and then we can view the dashboard to see more information about the students we've selected and also to spot check who we're going to be contacting. This dashboard view can be a really interesting way to learn more about your markets and your population that you're looking to recruit. At the bottom, this is showing first choice major group. You also have the ability to map it or to run some custom charts. From there, you'll click Submit Order. Your first option within the Submit Order menu is to choose single order or standing order. We encourage search users to make use of standing order whenever possible. Standing orders will deliver new files of students to you monthly or on data load dates up to your specified end date or maximum volume. We noted that search is dynamic and new students are opting in and being added every week. Selecting a monthly delivery will give you access to those students without delay and without the administrative burden of needing to log into Search every month to build a new order. So here you'll choose immediately for your start date. That means these 38,728 names will be delivered to you instantly. You'll choose your end date. Here we're going to choose 8/31/21. This is going to run this order through the end of the search cycle. We'll choose a monthly frequency. If we were to choose as the data loads, that would deliver files on each data load date. You can access our data load calendar from the home screen within Search or within the support section right up here at the top of the screen. If you are searching with score bands, as the data loads is probably a good fit for you. If you're not, monthly is a great choice. Here you'll enter your maximum number of names. So we know that there are 38,000 names here today that Sample College is interested in. So maybe we'll type in a total figure of 60,000 for those subsequent deliveries. The standing order will run until we reach either the end date or the maximum volume, whichever happens first. You'll then hit Continue Placing Order. Now this will take you to a step where you will indicate who the recipients are. You'll be able to choose users on your account as the file recipients. You'll make selections about how you'd like this file sorted, and this will allow you to pick the type of format that you'd like, and then you'll hit Continue. On the next screen, you'll select your invoicing options, accept our online terms and conditions, and you'll go ahead and submit your order. Once the order has been submitted and it's ready to be fulfilled, you can access it from My Searches, Orders, and Files. You'll find it right here. You'll be able to open the order, scroll down, and after submission, be able to download it right here. You can also, at a later date, come to this screen, open the search, and hit Copy to preserve all of the criteria you selected and to be able to make modifications for future orders. Just remember to make sure that it's always including only new students not included in my other orders, and you'll get new students who have come into the database since the last time you ordered. Please let us know if you have any questions. You can request a consultation at cbsearch.collegeboard.org, as I mentioned earlier, and one of our team members will work with you on search strategy and plans to ensure you're making the most of this tool. We look forward to talking with you. Thanks so much for your time and enjoy using College Board Search.